Name's Baderon, and this is the most abysmal of all stories in all the drowning winch. Like, this town seems peaceful at a glance, but look again, and you'll see people living in fear of what tomorrow might bring. But there's one thing we all remember, and that's that group of adventurers that laid down their lives to drag yours back from the brink when she was bound for the abyss. That's an aetherite, a device you can move around from one place to the other in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way to travel, providing there's an aetherite where you want to go, of course. Second on the list is the marketplace. You find all your weapons and all your venturing bits and pieces for sale in the district lies beyond the aetherite. For the last of me helpful hints, I suggest you meet some old fellow axe wielders at the Marauders Guild. I guarantee you learn a few tricks for twinging a head splitter of yours if you join their crew. Blauthoda at the front desk is the one who gets you started.
Forgive me, I could not resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Arctic lavender, a common enough export from Limsa. In fact, these probably spilled from crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone's been having a bit of fun with you, son, but not to worry. You've learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met.
Ah, another novice adventurer. I Baderon sent more than a few of you, your kind, this way of late. I am Sundhamel, one of the Yellow Jackets tasked with keeping the peace here in the city. It is also my charge to provide guidance to the use of this device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They are primarily used as means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport as the most common transportation spells make direct use of aetherites and their connection to the flow of aether. And these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, and each adventurer worthy of a name will wish to seek out and attune himself to each one. Once you have expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you will soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about aetherites or transportation magic, I will be here to answer your questions. A fine day to you, sir. Welcome to the most replete marketplace in the grand realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans under the weight of wonders born from all four corners of the world. Pray browse the stalls until your eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I would love to elaborate on an unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must tend to some cargo recently arrived at the docks. You bear a gift from Baderon? Whatever could it be? My Octant! By the Navigator, I must have left it behind in the wench, along with a week's pay and several bells worth of intoxicated memories. I am most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid, and what better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant? It is simple and sturdy adventuring equipment you seek. You need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each gil you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within a few steps are the bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply all your potion and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a friendly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light or your time is short. But verbal instruction of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has ever been the surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the markets for yourself.
Ho there, adventurer. Curious about the Marauders Guild, are you? Any axe worth swinging needs 2 hands on the aft and a blade what can make short of the galley's mast. That kind of weapon our members train to use deceptive swiftness and all too predictable force. Are you interested in hearing more, lad? Then why don't I give you the short version of the guild's founding history, and we can go from there. It all started with ships, you see? What have ships got to do with axes, you ask? Well, building them would be pretty bloody difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees of lumber, and since only the navigator herself knows when a ship will run afoul of a storm, or worse, it makes sense for the crew's carpenter to carry an axe on board. It all started with shipbuilding and ship repair. What? Am I boring you? Well, as I was saying, any tool on a ship can become a weapon, and the axe was perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in a whirl of steel, and generally laying waste to all about you. As from more seafarers took up the axe as their weapons of choice, so did the bloody art of the marauder begin to take shape, especially among pirates, where strength and skill decided your place in the world. With an eye to assemble crews of battle-ready raiders, the pirates started teaching the proper way to wield a chopping blade to their new recruits, and that's how the Marauders Guild first came to be. But once the Galadian Accord was signed to unite the Maelstrom and the pirates against Limsa's enemies, the whole game changed. The Accord itself was a dismal failure, of course, but the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, restructured, and purged of its pirate elements. It had been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of this new Marauders Guild were no greed-driven cutthroats neither. They were warriors, what sought to use their martial prowess for the good of society. If mastering your axe is what your heart's desire, then you've no better arena in which to practice your swings. Think it over, and then let me know if you fancy joining our ranks. I've a feeling I'll be seeing more of you soon, lad.
Hi, there you are, Wirt. Enjoy your jaunt around the city, did you? If you mean to base yourself here in Limsa, that won't be the last time you visit them 3 places. And now you got some ideas of where we can start exploring the rest of the town. Showing you a good ear for listening, lad. Stick with old Bader on, and you'll go far. Still in Limsa, are you, Wirt? How'd you like a fancy trip outside the city walls? I'd like you to visit an orchard by the name of Summerford Farms. Ever heard of the place? The owner, Stalewern, is an old mate of mine. He's got himself a crew of mostly reformed pirate types, if you can believe that, and has been trying to bring a bit of life back out in the fields after the calamity ruined the soil. You mentioned needing another hand or two, and your name sprang to mind. I gave you a glowing recommendation, so make sure you work hard and impress the old bastard. You need directions? The place ain't hard to find. Just take the Zephyr Gate out city and follow the road northeast. Oh, you must be the adventure Baderon promised to send along. What a gummer, isn't it? You are at his word, so that's a good start. I'm Stalwern, the old bastard, as Maderon likely described me, and this here's my humble orchard. A good number of the lads and lasses working here once terrorized the high seas, and if you're wondering why I employ these scrags, well, they used to crew my pirate ship. But the calamity did for our ship,
like it did for so many others, and I was sore wounded into the bargain. I tend to feed myself and crew somehow, and my Admiral Melville's initiative to get us landlocked buccaneers working the field seemed too fine an offer to refuse. Well, it turns out you can take the pirate away from the sea, but you can't take the sea away from the pirate. A lot of my blokes just never took to tending the soil, you see. And unfortunately, the botanists I called to train them have been wringing their hands in black despair. With so much work piling up, I need a tougher soul like you to step in and help where it's needed. I've a mind to set you a task, Tagame, but before I do, I need to see you're properly kitted out. Pirates don't care to parley with dandies, you understand. It might well be that the ones here have traded their cutlasses for quarters, but they're still rogues at heart. I know a solid set of gear when I see it. Come back when you think you're more suitably equipped. Let's have a look at you, shall we? Oh, as long as you're this well covered, I won't feel any guilt throwing you to the sharks. Erstwhile buccaneers, they're an ornery lot. They rage in love for the sea and care little for the laws of the land. But they respect strength, and from the looks of you, I'd say you have little trouble getting their attention. Oh, Tagame, that aura of confidence tells you not been idle since we last met. I hope you've read all right, for I have a task that requires the attention of a capable adventurer. Might that adventurer be you? Good to hear. Then I shall lay before you the sorry tale. You will have heard rumors of the abductions. Our citizens have been disappearing for every corner of Limsa, as if plucked from the face of Heidelin, boots and all, by an unseen hand. And what's this got to do with some of the farms, you might ask? Well, that remains to be seen, but it seems a collection of right unsavory fellows with azure tattooed faces be creeping up to the edge of the fields and spying on my yeomen. Now, I doubt anyone would enjoy being scrutinized by such savages at the best of times, but the farmhands are convinced that the kidnappers of rumor come for their hides. Needless to say, they're beside themselves with worry and their work suffering for it, which is the last thing I need with my old crewmates still getting used to their new jobs. Just a struggle to get them to leave the hot farmhouse of a morning. That is to say, where you come in. Well, you be willing to investigate these tattooed thugs for me? Good lad. The sooner we get to the bottom of this, the sooner the place starts to resemble a working farm again. I suggest you begin by having a look around the Seasong Grotto. If reports are to be believed, our unwelcome visitors will occupy the place. Be careful though, Tagame. I wouldn't say for sure what manner of miscreants we're dealing with here. If they are kidnappers, well, just be on your guard, alright?